A chaotic scene in Washington yesterday as Democratic lawmakers attempted to push past security at the Department of Education, outraged over DOGE potential cuts to the agency.
What are you going to do? You're going to beat us up if we go in?
I mean, you're going to,
we want you to move out of the way.
I'm not steamrolling you.
Please stand aside, sir.
I'm not standing aside.
Why not?
Because my role is to make sure that...
What authority do you have to block members of Congress from the oversight? We all have oversight responsibilities. By what authority can you deny members of Congress their oversight role?
If you don't have a business reason to be here, meaning...
You do not have authority, sir.
Here to react is Erika Donalds with the America First Policy Institute. Great to see you this morning, Erika. You know, so it was kind of like Maxine Waters was trying to set up this scene where it was like some civil rights standoff in the schoolhouse door. But in reality, if you were to look at sort of the big civil rights question of what's going on here, you might be more concerned about the students who are being failed by the Federal Department of Education.
Exactly. The Department of Government Efficiency has been unleashed, as we know, and now the Department of Education to root out fraud, waste, and abuse. And the American people are applauding and shocked at the Democrats' reaction because they did not protest last week when the NAEP scores came out and revealed that only 1 in 4 of our economically disadvantaged fourth graders are reading proficiently. They didn't protest when schools were closed and students were missing out on years of learning. So this outrage is feigned, and it is nothing but a response to President Trump's priority, which is to fund students and not bureaucrats and wasteful programs.
Listen to what President Trump had to say about this little standoff.
I see Maxine Waters, a lowlife. I see, you know, all these people. They don't love our country. They don't love our country. We want great education. So they rank 40 countries in education. We're ranked dead last. But the good news is we're number 1 in one category. You know what that is? Cost per pupil.
So who do you think is winning this public relations fight right now?
Well, it's absolutely President Trump. His vision for the golden age of American education is to empower parents, expand school choice, return education to the states, and shutter the Department of Education, which is nothing but a wasteful middleman that's actually taking money away from benefiting students. So for every layer of bureaucracy, less funding is actually going into the hands of parents and students to help them to succeed. We know that the Department of Education wasted $190 billion of COVID relief funds with zero increase in academic performance as a result, and another $1 billion over the past 2 years in DEI programs. The Department of Government Efficiency is rooting out these issues and exposing them to the American public, and they support what President Trump is doing.
Yeah, and I think it's a really important point you just made there, that by closing the Federal Department of Education, that's not taking money away from education, is it?
Absolutely not. The Department of Education at the federal level has not educated a single student.
Right.
What it has done is put in wasteful programs and fund bureaucrats and layers of bureaucracy. We are going to see this funding actually get closer to the students, whether that means it's in the hands of parents or in the hands of states who are closer to those families and knowing what those students are going to need. This wasteful bureaucracy and this federal meddling in education is going to end with President Trump. He promised it to the American people over and over again, and the American people expect him to deliver on that promise.
It was a big part of the last election we just went through. Erika Donalds, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.